Welcome back to episode 9 of this sailing voyage to the Baltic Sea. My name's Sam and this is my boat Stowaway. She's a Nicholson 32. I've been in the Baltic for nearly 4 weeks now, and in this episode we're leaving Copenhagen heading to the south of Denmark. So I had a west wind forecast, so this is going to be a great sail down initially to Balster, Denmark. This area is very shallow, coming through the Storstrømmen channel, and then on to Femo, Enehoje, and then back to Lolland. We're going to be heading south today into the shallow waters of the South Danish Island sort of chain. Under sail again, and just left the Smålandshaven or Smålandshaven Marina in Copenhagen. It's about 12 hours from here. There's some good winds today, up to sort of 20 knots. One thing I will say, and I don't often provide advice on boats itself, but the performance of the Nicholson, unless you're got a very large bank account and you like to motor everywhere, these things need at least 15 knots to really get going. Otherwise you'll be messing around at sort of 3.5 knots all day long. So yeah, 15 knots plus will get you sort of 6 knots. Gonna make best track to the south with this wind that we've got, and explore some of the area this evening. Quite a bit of commercial work going on in this sector. All of this area is being developed. Some really big building projects going on. There's when we came in there was a few tow barges and jack-ups and stuff, and then just over there. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to need to go wing on wing for this section, I think.
To go a little bit more to the south, we have a part that working with the highway, but we have no one.
It's a fishing boat. It turned out he's telling people what to do. These wind turbines are they're blocking quite a lot of the wind when I'm going past them. Just had to put the tiller pilot on because the wind vane was just all these wind changes were affecting the steering of the boat. So just have to put the tiller pilot on. It's doing a bit of a better job, but the gusts are really pulling us around now and then, which is making trying to stay on track quite difficult. So this is Nicholson 32 doing, was it 6.5 knots? We've got, well, gusting between 15 and 18 knots on the beam, and yeah, it's sort of a bit intermittent because we've got sort of buildings and wind farms just over here, over this way, and but yeah, this is what they need to get going. You can't sail a Nicholson, from my experience, you cannot sail a Nicholson in 5 to 10 knot breezes. I mean, you can, but you are not going to get your hull speed at all. I'm absolutely full to the brim of diesel at the minute after filling up in Malmo, but I don't particularly want to use any more until the Kiel Canal and going through the Danish Islands there in the middle. So yeah, it's a beautiful day out here. It's meant to ease off sort of later on today, but generally speaking, if we can keep this winds today, I mean, I'm doing 7 knots at the minute. Obviously that is completely undeterred. I'm not going to be plugging against any tide at any point, so if I can do 6.5 to 7 knots all day long, that will be fantastic. I'll make huge amounts of progress with that. reef in the main, just to make it a little bit more controllable for the wind pilot. It was just pulling it all over the place, but it feels a lot more comfortable now. We're doing the same speed as what we were before. She's tracking a lot better, not moving around from side to side. Still got a full Genoa out, and we're now sort of heading, well, we're heading across the Køge Butte, I think it is. So it's all like heading down south through sort of Denmark along the coast. But yeah, it's a really beautiful day out here, plenty of wind, and the speeds we're doing are absolutely fantastic. I think we have got a little bit of current here as well, so that's good. That's, I'm gonna try and pronounce it, Svenskfjord Lighthouse. The wind's just dropped a little bit, just as we're coming round, and we had a lovely run across from Copenhagen to here. It's literally taken us like a couple of hours. Ground speed has been like a constant 6.5 knots to 7 knots the whole way across. Island, just over on port side. We are pinching into wind as hard as possible. It shifted, and now it's right on the nose after rounding Hogerup Point. There's also some tide against us, which is quite interesting. We're coming into the Bogstrom, what is called the Bogstrom channel. Just see the two markers up in front of me. I've just gone past the safe water mark. The anchorage is about 5 miles into the inlet. Going down this extremely narrow and shallow inlet area, estuary, whatever you want to call it. I've been sat on 2.2 meters for the best part of an hour. A couple of lobster pots to look out for. Just seen a few dotted around. They're reasonably well marked, but some of them are a little bit thin, and I can't quite see the flags. So coming up to our anchor spot, it's just in front of this tree line over here. A few boats anchored there, and I think the ones ahead of us are heading towards that as well. I quite like this spot. I think I'm going to go here. going to go forward and drop the hook. Just put the anchor down. It was only like literally about 3 meters, I think. But I'm just gonna let that drift and drag and then hopefully clip on. And then I think I'm just gonna put 10 meters out tonight. There's no tide change. We're in 2.5 meters anyway, so should be fine. That's more than enough chain for this depth, and it's not going to change. There's not going to be any change in depth, so I'll just leave it as that. I think 10 meters is, well, pretty excessive, to be honest. Got a lovely island over there. It's all green all the way round, and these houses over here. And this lovely woodland all the way along. Turn that off. Turn you off. And that's it. And put my anchor ball up. Look it up. This has got to be the flattest I've seen the Baltic in the time I've been here, I think. You're heading through this island sort of chain in the south of Denmark, and there's some islands on the west side, and I think I'll probably call into one of them sort of early afternoon if I can. And that's not a frog, by the way, that's my rigging talking to me. And I don't know why it does that. There's literally no wind right now. Oh, it stopped. There you go, that's weird. I'm going to check out one of these islands. There's 2 of them. Can't remember the names, but yeah, I'm going to call in and have a look around. That's us leaving the anchor spot. A lot of weed came up on that anchor. Sort of like a mixture of mud and very green weed. This is the first bridge on this route. It's the Dronning Alexanderins Bridge, 24-meter clearance through the middle, not on the sides. The moment of truth. Wow. This up ahead is a small island in the middle called Tyro, I think it is. This island here is Mon, and it stretches all the way across to the sea on the east side. And then over there, I think, is Lolland. And they all look like it's all just one island, but it's all these little channels everywhere. It's a huge, huge area. So this is a 20 meter clearance. So it starts off really, really shallow over there, and then it gets wider and wider and wider. And this is the passing point. Closer. Look at that, just going off in the distance, amazing. should be able to sail this this next section, so I'll get the main up in a bit, and we can get under way with the main. Turn the engine off. Yeah, we are about 10 miles from the island of Femo, which is our destination, but it is going to be tacking all the way there. I've had enough of the engine now, so I've put the sails back up and we're just going to run like this. Yeah, the wave height was sort of not big, but it was probably about half a metre, and that's enough. If you're motoring into wind, that's enough to knock out a good sort of, I don't know, half a knot to a knot as you're going through the water, which is, it's just going to use all your diesel really. If you've got a big bank account, fair enough, but if we've got wind, I prefer to use that, even if it does mean tacking. We don't have to worry about tides or anything, so we'll just carry on like this. Got the wind pilot on. It's doing all right at the minute. It's some wind changes now and then in direction, and yeah, like now we're getting a gust and she sort of rounds up and it goes quite nicely actually. We pick up to about a 5 knots sort of surge and point up much higher, which is nice, and then sort of starts to fall back. But yeah, that's going really well at the minute. I prefer to have the wind pilot on because any small changes it will pick up and really help to maintain the boat's speed. We're just coming up the eastern side of Femo, and well, we can't cut round from the east side because there's quite a lot of shoals. There is a small channel, but I think I'm going to head round over the north side and then west and then into the harbour there on the south side. So, wind's been okay. I'm just trying to make as much to windward as possible, and it's getting a little bit better closer to this this island, just as a slight wind shift. So yeah, we'll see how we get on the next tack. So that's the wind vane adjusted, and what it'll do now, it'll bring us into wind, and I'll wait until the Genoa comes round as it's doing now, and now it's over on the other tack. I'll just wait for it to move round. Just heading back out offshore again. I've just hit something just down on the west side of Femo. I kind of wasn't paying attention to my sounder, but like on the chart it's supposed to have loads of water where I was, about 4 meters. But yeah, I looked at it and it was like down to 2.2, and then next minute the boat just stopped. So yeah, I'm back out again, just heading out to the west a little bit more. Yeah, it was just over there, as I was coming up to these cliffs and thinking I had like a decent contour to run along the west and then sail in towards the harbour. So it was just over there, and I think there was maybe just a massive bunch of weed or whatever, but like, yeah, I stopped. So sails are down, just heading towards the harbour just in front of us. Got another boat there. Everyone wants to come in, and I think I'm going to change my engine belt. I think I'm going to change my engine belt when I get in, because there's a lot of dust coming off it, and yeah, it's looking a bit worn. I've got about 3 more, and I kind of like on the alternator setting where you can put the tension on the belt. I've probably got like probably half the way to go, but the belt is looking pretty frayed, so yeah, I think I'm going to put a fresh one on. So Femo Harbour is actually quite a decent size for the size of the island. They've got plenty of services there. There's a self-service fuel pontoon, then the whole harbour is self-service, so you just check yourself in. There's no need for harbour master. There were a few available box berths here, but I couldn't make out whether they were available or not, so I kind of ended up in a bit of a tight quarter at the end of the harbour. This boat ahead of me here, the skipper was just kind of watching me manoeuvre, and I suppose ready to take any lines or fend off or what have you. But yeah, just asked me if I wanted to raft alongside, which was very kind, so took him up on that.
Where do you want to go?
Are we okay to come here? Obviously I would never raft alongside another boat without permission first. It's kind of like you're going to have to step on board that boat anyway, so rafting alongside is almost, you know, saying that you're going to jump on board anyway, so I'd never do it out of courtesy. A lovely Danish family on their holidays from Copenhagen, and they had a few questions to ask because they don't often see single-handed British sailors in the Baltic, which came as a bit of a surprise to me, to be honest. Easy peasy boat tickets. That one there. Oh, come on. Continue. Cool. Job done. I've just ordered this pad Thai meal and these chicken skewers from the Thai food over there, Thai restaurant. They're giving me loads. Please. To get out on the bike, gonna head for one of the little towns on the island, and then probably along the coast. I'd like to just check out the northern kind of stretch of coastline along this island. Cherry plums, these are pretty tasty, and these are just about ready to bloody fall off. Look at that. Amazing. They are awesome. Wow. I think that was was the only pub on the island I just went past. It's not open yet, maybe on the way back. Blackberries now. I love these are huge. Plums on this plum tree. There's loads of them. How do they give these things? That's that. Tour de Femo completed. After an hour, we're back at the start again. After like 15 cherry plums and I don't know, 6 blackberries and a fly in the eye later, all I've got to do now is wait for the pub to open. I don't know what time that opens. I'm gonna have to check Google, I think. So it gets busy here at some point. This is the ferry terminal loading lane. So there are signs this belt is on the way out. You can just see the edges there. And there's a few up there. It's just starting to look a bit frayed, so I'm going to replace this morning, I think. There's also, you can just see the teeth there, just wearing out. So I'm going to get this replaced today. Just slacken the alternator off. And we can remove the belt. Go. It'll probably last a little bit longer, but that's not good. There is what we need. You're in a remote place like this, there's no chance of getting anything. Good. Done. So there we go, away from Femo, short and sweet visit. I could have stayed there forever, to be honest. Really relaxing. But yeah, we're heading west now to try and eat some miles between here and Kiel. And yeah, it was really nice, really friendly. I was with a couple with a family next to me in the harbour, really accommodating. And they invited me on board last night, and their daughter gave me a little wildflower to put on the mast. So I've stuck that on the mast to, you know, keep it company for a bit. So yeah, off to the west, probably about 4 hours, and we'll drop the hook, anchor up somewhere, or call in at a harbour. I'll see how things go. To give you some idea, we've just left Femo Island here, and we're going to be making round to sort of like the west coast of Lolland Island, and this is after coming down from Copenhagen a couple of days ago. Made really good progress down, had the anchor spot here overnight just at the Bogstrom channel entrance, made through there, really shallow, and then we came through here under all the bridges, and then out and stayed the night there. So yeah, we're just sort of heading round to the coast here, and then tomorrow is the crossing of the Kielebusch, just to cross back into Germany.
Baltic nations to safeguard security and safety, freedom of navigation, and security of undersea infrastructure to assist.
Just coming up to the anchor area, just going past some of these markers behind me. These are the channel markers. I'm just outside of that, but plenty of depth here. The island in front of us is Enehoje Island. I don't know how to pronounce it in Danish. It's got a J in it, but I'm thinking there's the anchorage is on the other side of the island. On the charts, but I think with this increasing wind from the southeast, I'm kind of more inclined to like anchor on this side, because it's got a nice, if you look at that, it's got a nice cliff there along, and it'll be a really good anchor spot. So yeah, I don't know whether there's going to be anywhere to land. There might be somewhere to land with the dinghy. Should be kind of cool to do. So yeah, gonna have a look along there and anchor up, I think. What is this guy doing? He's just come out of nowhere and he's just following me right up. I'm trying to anchor. Look. I really don't want to. I don't really want to drop the anchor when I've got this trimaran right next to me. Come on, just go away. It's getting late. I don't need this right now. Okay. Let's run her in reverse, shall we? So I'm going to inflate the dinghy. Yeah, this island looks like it's worth a visit. Good. One thing. Oh, look at that, look. At least the keel looks reasonably clean. Excellent. Cool. Okay, here we are. How am I supposed to get up here? Don't trust these cliffs at all. Probably go along, find somewhere a bit shallower. So apparently there was a Danish polar explorer that lived on this island in the early part of the 20th century, and he's built a monument or something on the island. So I'm going to try and find out where that is. Just found a reasonably accessible elevator up to the top of upground. Wow, this is wild. A little bit of information on this billboard that you got. Like the northern end is closed off from March to July. I think for the breeding birds, there's quite a lot of nature and stuff down there. So I just found out a bit more about Peter Frauchen. He used to work quite a lot with Knud Rasmussen on the exploration of Greenland, and suffered quite extensive frostbite to the point where he couldn't continue any further expeditions. So he came here as a farmer and a writer, and was quite popular. A lot of people came here to see him, and yeah, it's pretty fantastic. And he was quite a colourful guy by all accounts, building this monument behind me, and then out of whale bones, and then had these two giant tortoises as well, which was it must have been quite an interesting sight. I was going to do a bit more of a spiel on Peter Frauchen, but there's so much information on his life that I honestly don't know where to start. Yeah, go on Google and find out a bit more, not just on the expeditions in Greenland with Knud Rasmussen, but also his adventures elsewhere, fighting the Germans during World War II. And his life in the States with his wife is quite interesting as well. As for me, I am packing up my dinghy for the last time in this trip before heading back to where it all started, at Kiel. Enehoje had one more surprise for me before I left, and something that took me quite by surprise. Just seen something surface, like a porpoise or something. Oh, look here, that's amazing. Wow. Look at this. Time to lift the anchor up, move away from this special place. I really don't want to go back, but yeah, onward to Kiel. So just left the anchorage at Enehoje and heading out towards the open stretch of water. There's about 35 miles between here and Germany now. It looks like a NATO warship just over here, and there's another one just up there, and I think they're keeping an eye on the vessels coming into the Baltic down this way. I can hear a lot of chatter on the radio, so I don't know what's going on, what they're doing. Maybe checking out for Russian crews, or I don't know, but yeah, best keep an eye out for them. So I thought this was the Danish patrol vessel, but I think that's the Danish patrol vessel on AIS, and that's the Russian warship, which isn't showing at all on AIS. Haven't got anything on it. That's a bit disconcerting. And there was quite a bright light coming from that a little while ago, shining kind of in this direction, I think. Or maybe it was just the light catching on it, I don't know. What the heck's going on here? I guess they've got their own Russian commercial stuff coming through here. So there is, I suppose, a reason for them to keep an eye out for them in these waters, but that is huge. My camera will just pick this up. Well, that's it. And last off Denmark. This is just the south side of Lolland. So this is it, the last sail in the Baltic Sea. I've got, tomorrow I'd like to get into the keel and move over to the North Sea, wait for a weather window in Cuxhaven, somewhere like that, before heading out of the Elbe and then along the top of the Frisian Islands. If you've not been to the Baltic, absolutely, totally get yourself down here. It's so nice to have so many countries, in one area, and most of which you're able to travel to or sail to within, a matter of days. So, thumbs up all around for the Baltic. Will I come back here again? Absolutely, I will. Whether it'll be in the Nicholson, probably not. And the reason for that is I'd like to be able to, cover the mileage, and with light winds that's quite difficult with the Nick. She does need a lot to get going, so I don't know, thinking maybe of a trailer sailor, something I can drive down in a couple of days to, say, somewhere like Poland, launch the boat and spend a couple of weeks just getting to where I want to. The one thing I will say about the Baltic is there's so much cruising ground. It's very, very condensed cruising ground. You don't need to travel 200 miles to get to a destination of your liking, because most of it is fantastic. And there's no point in charging around doing hundreds of miles, because you just miss loads of stuff that's just as good. So that's kind of my conclusion of the Baltic. Over the last sort of 4 weeks, it's not an awful amount of time. It's definitely a mini cruise. For an area like the Baltic, but the only thing I would say is just get yourself down here. It's really not that difficult to get through the Kiel Canal at all. Very straightforward. Just make sure you've got a decent engine and it's well serviced, and you'll have no problems at all. That is a very interesting mix of vessels. Tall ship, tugboat, and I don't know, space rockets? I don't know what they are on that. Lovely tall ship though. We are about 4 nautical miles away from Labo. Just coming into the Kieler Fjord. So the plan is to transit at the Kiel tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday head out and start the passage over to Holland. The reason why I want to get away, is because Saturday it blows really hard into the Elbe from the north, up to a 7.47, so I don't really want to be trying to make out of the Elbe in that. It's a beautiful evening out here. I'm gonna just mosey down the Kiel Fjord and yeah, just enjoy the last of the Baltic. Coming back into the Baltic Bay Marina that was in to begin with. They got a really nice restaurant there with a decent pizza, so I'm gonna go treat myself. And the shower block and everything. I haven't had a wash in a couple of days, so yeah, that'll be nice to get in there tonight, and then off early in the morning for the Kiel Canal. Thanks to all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to keep track of progress through this trip, click the subscribe button and you'll get an automatic notification when my next videos come up. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and feel free to comment. That'd be much appreciated. Take care and see you all soon.